The other big story of the night, the firestorm surrounding Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. A week after that school shooting in Florida where 17 students and faculty were killed, Tenney went on a radio show in Albany today and said that most mass shooters are Democrats. Most mass shooters are Democrats. She says the media doesn't talk about that. We have an audio clip for you, and News Channel 2's Jeanne Caldwell is on the story tonight. Jeanne.
Don, Congresswoman Tenney is catching a lot of heat for that statement. Her comments were made on the John Dicker Show on WGDJ Radio in Albany in response to authorities not responding to signs she feels could have prevented the Florida shooting. To give you context, the FBI admitted it didn't act on tips about the Parkland, Florida school shooter. Here's a portion of that interview where she makes that inflammatory statement about Democrats.
They tend to vote Republican. They tend to be white. Most gun crimes are occurring in what's euphemistically called the inner cities involving minorities, and they're the ones that Democrats generally are going to bend over backwards to protect, so you don't hear about mandatory prison sentences for people involved in gun crimes, say in Albany, New York, or downtown Utica.
Yeah, well, the guy, obviously there's a lot of politics in it. It's interesting that so many of these people that commit the mass murders end up being Democrats, but we don't want to. The media doesn't talk about that either.
Tenney also says she feels it is unfair that legal gun owners could possibly be targeted in future gun restrictions. Assemblyman Anthony Brindisi, who's running against Tenney in the upcoming election, wants Tenney to apologize for her comments. He says, and I'm quoting, "This toxic rhetoric is shameful coming from an elected official and is a new low even for Claudia Tenney. She has disrespected the office she holds. Inserting politics into a national tragedy is beyond the pale and disgusting. She should apologize immediately to spare our region any more national embarrassment." The recent shooting has brought up a lot of debate over gun control. Tenney says the demographic of legal gun owners are not the ones doing the mass shootings. Don?
All right, Jeanne, excuse me, and now I have this statement from Tenney. This is after the radio show appearance, and she's doubling down and making no apologies. I'm going to read her statement in its entirety. She says, and I'm quoting here, "I am fed up with the media and liberals attempting to politicize tragedies and demonize law-abiding gun owners and conservative Americans every time there is a horrible tragedy. While we know that the perpetrators of these atrocities have a wide variety of political views, my comments are in response to a question about the failure to prosecute illegal gun crimes." She goes on to say that I will continue to stand up for law-abiding citizens who are smeared by anti-gun liberal elitists. Again, this back and forth by politicians is happening on the same day that President Trump sat down with survivors of different school shootings from around the country. Here's reporter Omar Jimenez